Hi, thanks for checking out our channel here. It's going to be just a little show and tell testing video on this particular unit. This is a Patriot PBX 50. It's I think like a half joule output fence charger. So it's not a super strong one, but for smaller areas, I guess it'd be all right. It shoots a pretty good spark to it. It says it's rated for powers up to 15 miles or 60 acres. Now, real quick about this mileage, acreage rating stuff. This is more of a marketing thing than anything. But what it is, it's a single wire, 12.5 gauge, a big high tensile, big heavy gauge wire for electric fence. 12.5 gauge high tensile single strand that's clean. So that's like pie in the sky, best case scenario rating. So if you start having multiple wires in there, cross fencing, smaller gauge wire, the electric net stuff, poly rope, the braided, stuff, or like the poly tape type stuff, all that stuff has a lot more resistance in it. So that mileage rating just goes right down the toilet. So you got to take that into consideration when you're trying to size your unit, what I should buy. Don't always look at this mileage, and sometimes that gets you in trouble by buying too small of a unit. But don't go crazy and buy a $300, $400, $500 unit, because you may not even need that big of one based on what you need. But if you need help figuring out what's a good unit to buy or what size should I get, we've helped out with that for years on helping people size a unit for them, tell them what one they should buy and this and that. But there's information right there. We are primarily a repair shop working on these things, and but we do help out with that sort of thing as well. But real quick about the Patriot brand in general, they're owned by Tru-Test, whatever. Speedrite is the main brand. Patriot's like the cheaper cousin. So they share a little bit of similarities on the inside. They're not 100% the same. But about these units as well, if you look at the back of the unit, no user serviceable parts inside. Return to approve, whatever. On this part of it, they do not offer any parts for these things. They do not, you can't call them up and order a brand new board, brand new transformer, whatever. You might be able to get some new knobs for it. That would be about it. But the PBX models and the PMX models, which are the plugins, up to basically the 1500 and below on the PMX models, or below the PMX model, I can usually fix those most times, not every time, I guess. And the PBX models, we can still sometimes fix these. So don't always think because it says throwaway, that means it's throwaway. Let us try to take a look at it. But like the P12 or the PE10, PE5, the little dual power things, they are fully sealed up on the inside. Taking those apart is like pulling teeth. It just does not want to come apart. So that's pretty hard to do. And once you do get those other ones open, they are, the whole circuit board and everything's all sealed in a big block of epoxy. Can't touch nothing. So, if you get 5, 6, 8 years out of one, great. If you get 4 or 5 years, I guess you're out of luck most times, because these have a 3-year warranty on them as of 2022 or 2021, where they came out 3-year warranty. So they just swap you out for a new one if it's under warranty. If it's out of warranty, they usually tell you, go pitch a tent somewhere and go buy yourself a new one, because you can't get parts for them. They're kind of a throwaway brand, but they are pretty cheap and they do work for what they are. Just don't expect to get like 20 years out of one or 10 years out of one. This is 2-year warranty, but this is back when they had a 2-year. They went to a 3-year about 2-3 years ago. But we did fix this one. It's a 12-volt unit. I'm going to power it up here. I think it's still hooked up. A little light comes on, a little red flashing light there. Because what we usually have to do this, if it's a capacitor, we can put in a capacitor, and that's not a big deal. Transformers, we can find a transformer that will work in these. That's not a big deal. It's just space. Space is the big thing. You have enough space to fit something in there. Sometimes they modify the case, chisel away some of the plastic, that sort of thing, to get the case shut on itself again. And the boards, it's a big thing. If you can't fix the board, which it does have some surface mount microprocessor chippy things on it, so if that stuff's bad, you can't fix that stuff. You can see it puts out good power. I got over 10,000 volts knocking out of the thing, so it's hitting hard and heavy. put a screwdriver across here. I can't see it. Bad glare with the overhead light on. So it shocks, does its job. But usually what we have to do if the boards are bad, well, and we can't fix the boards, we can sometimes take a board for another brand model unit of some sort sometimes, and as long as it's small enough and will fit in the case, we can take that board and put it in another. The only thing that sometimes happens is this circuit board's on there, it's got a built-in little light bulb that flashes like that. See it there? Some boards don't have light bulbs on them, so some boards we would put in here may not have a light that flashes. It will still click and thump and shock and all that stuff, but it may not have a flashing light, so you may have to rely on a good fence tester to test the unit, make sure it's working or not, or your fence is working or not. So but that's a little story about it, about who we are. So if you want to send us something to work on, be happy to take a peek at it. We do work on all brands and ages of fence chargers, and we give free quotes. I think it was like $35 to fix this one. And this is a semi-local guy, so he's just going to drive back and pick it up. But even if we had to pack this up and ship it, like $15-20 maybe at most to ship this thing. It's not very heavy. It's fit it in your hand. It weighs about 4 pounds. I don't know, not very heavy. More plastic than anything. But anyways, that's our little deal about it. And if you got one, send it here. We have to take a look at it. Free quote. Can't fix it. Don't want to listen to anything besides the shipping to get it here. And until next time, see you guys later on.